Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Wu, and I am listening. Together, we're going to navigate through, thrive in, and grow from this present trauma or any other future crisis. Together, we're getting better, stronger, and healthier. So, this week, I wanted to talk a little bit about just kind of a different two things. Panic attacks or anxiety, but then also just how sometimes there's a little bit of normalization of all the things that are just increasing in frequency, but not necessarily normal. So just to ponder with me, if you don't mind. In other words, so trauma is something that is out of the ordinary, not normal, and yet it leaves internal wounds and moral injuries. So there's a distinction because unfortunately, trauma has been actually normalized lately because now school shootings and bomb threats are actually part of our normal landscape. And with this pandemic, this is our new normal. So it's a very interesting concept of what is normal versus not. And the wind is actually moving this the thing that my camera is holding on. So sorry if it's moving, but it looks like it's not going to fall over. So, and even the other one is the pandemic. I was reading Twitter the other day, and somebody said, "Hey, what do you think about a pulse ox of 38?" Wow, for medical people, that's like, yeah, that'll make your heart race, right? And your a little shallow breath there, get your adrenaline pumping there. But now that's kind of normal because of the COVID virus. So for non-medical people, that just means normal pulse ox readings for oxygen on your fingers. Like anything above 95, you're good. Anything below 95, we actually start putting a little bit of oxygen, on you. And so 38 is not normal, but it's becoming the frequency, I guess, of the landscape. So I just thought that was very interesting. So the thing is, there is going to be, after even this initial episode is over, when things are calmer or safer, then actually that is maybe when some of the symptoms, anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress, these kind of things may actually manifest. And I just want to be prepared for that. Again, just because then just be careful in the future. These are normal. Some of these situational emotional responses are, again, they're normal responses to an abnormal life event or trauma or chronic stress. Just be careful in the future. If it is situational, then there's definitely things that you can do to get help, and definitely master it and get some mind regulation and emotional regulation and get through it. But however, just be careful. Just don't, you want to be labeled or put in a box or in a diagnosis or something like that. Just be very careful. Always check with your medical professional and your counselors. And again, always seek help. So because of this environment we're in, there's just an increased tolerance for distressing events. Recurrent daily bad events, or you'll be okay. We all been there, and that sort of sometimes invalidates what we're each thinking or feeling, and because we're so individual, each human being. So how we respond is so unique. You might even think, hey, my coworkers, they look fine. They don't, you ask them how they're doing. They say, okay, I'm fine. But then that'll actually make you feel like, hey, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not normal? Like they seem to be reacting normally. So there could be shame and guilt that may keep us from actually reaching out. So always reach out if you are having, symptoms of basically you can't sleep, you can't eat, a little foggy brain. It's just very important that we're not going to be in this hyper-vigilant, sympathetic drive. Again, there's no shame at all. The brain really has adapted to this chronic stress or abuse. If you're in an abusive situation or you grew up in an abusive household, this is how you've adapted. So those are actually some coping mechanisms, being hypervigilant. Oh, when's the next shoe gonna drop, or even anger, dissociation, numbing, having to use alcohol or weed or anything to just try to as a coping mechanism to calm down the sympathetic overdrive or dominance, all right? And the other thing, of course, is if the brain gets too foggy and you're really, going down this route of critter brain, is fatal thinking, and that's what we definitely don't want. That's why I'm out here. Always trying to give you as much information as I can, so that we can again just be healthier, right, stronger throughout this whole thing. So number one, I do want to give you a grounding toolkit for panic attacks or anxiety, or just not even panic attack, but just if you are in chronic, low-grade, even stress, like even bullying at school. You may not think it's a big T trauma, but it is, because, let's say it's Thursday, you go, oh, okay, I'm going to school. Well, I don't know. They might jump me today, So there is that low-level chronic stress that actually makes it, you're in the sympathetic nervous system, the excitable fight and flight, and not in the peaceful, calm, higher brain function system. So the grounding toolkit, again, is to help the mind and the body, just to be present in the now. Because what happens is because of this, because of what's happened with the critter brain kind of hijacking our brains when there's chronic stress or trauma, is that we have a difficulty sometimes differentiating the past from the present. And that's why when something happens that reminds us, and we don't even know, it's not even at a conscious level, all of a sudden your heart will race, or you get a knot in your belly, or your muscles are all tense, and wherever you happen to hold it. Remember, the body keeps the score, by Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, which is really a wonderful explanation of what trauma does to the brain. So the number one thing is to breathe. Remember, we take 23,000 breaths a day. So the breath really can, okay? The breath, and this is for your science geeks. We know that the respiratory rate and the tidal volume, right? When we set that ventilator dials, right? We know that the breath, the breathing, right, literally affects the pH, right? The blood pH has to be an optimal 7.4 for each cell to work, right? And if it isn't, by even a little tad bit, there is chaos, right? And that's what we chase, right? And we try to take care of. And even with the breathing, if you can breathe the breath, really deep breathing, regulated breathing, can actually boost your GI system, your immune system, decrease your cortisol level, right? Help you sleep, and also increase the heart rate variability. All things that are kind of important for health, right? So remember, when you inhale, you're activating the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, getting ready to fight, right? And so short bursts of that is okay. Like you're in the ER and you have a patient that is critical. You're gonna obviously have the sympathetic, but when it's short bursts like that, it actually just sends more oxygen to your brain, and so you can still think quite well, and your muscles are all tightened, so you're ready to fight. And what I'm talking about is more of the chronic stress and trauma that doesn't go away. And then the exhale, of course, is when you exhale with the breath, you're activating the parasympathetic or the peace center, right? Another way is to rest and digest. Then your body can rest and digest. And of course, that's going to happen really when you're not in the stressful, traumatic, unsafe area, when you're relatively safe, if you're back in your apartment, after work or something like that, or you're still quarantining yourself from your family. So again, you want the parasympathetic to be a little bit longer than the sympathetic. We talked about the box breathing, right? There's a whole bunch of things. And again, everybody's individual. So check into these things and see and practice them. Just play with them, experiment with them, and see which one really works for you for which times. There's different combinations for when you just want to kind of, balance, but there's when you really want to activate the parasympathetic. That's when you want the exhalation to be longer than the inhale. So yeah, there's the box breathing, 4 in, 2, 3, 4, hold for 4, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, hold, exhale, okay? Or 3 and 5, 3 in, 5 out, 5 in, 7 out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a long one, 7 in and 11 out, 7 in, 11 out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's also some nostrils, where you can actually do, so 3 in, so 2, 3, and then 9 out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 in, 2, 3, and then 9 out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, experiment them. There's all sorts of techniques out there. See which one actually seems to help you the best. And the other thing is very interesting. When we actually even the act, and this is just something for you smokers if you want to try this. I thought it was so just take, so I'm going to try to pretend, okay, I'm going to pretend I'm vaping or smoking, okay, but I'm not really going to have it. I'm just going to pretend I am, you know, kind of visualize it, and that actually is going to activate my parasympathetic system, okay, because you're doing the breathing, you're doing the exhalation, all right, that's exactly what you're doing. So okay, you're holding it, right, and then that's the breathing technique, yes, okay. You're actually, you know, you're actually doing the box breathing, and that's what's calming you down. So anyway, just a kind of a cool side note. Experiment with it, really, seriously. See if you like it, all right? It'll protect your lungs and save you some money. Huh? Remember, air is free, right? And then the other thing is just remember the breath, and I love these quotes. Breath is the link between the mind and body, and this is very nice. Breathe deeply to bring your mind home to your body, and that's what you're doing, right? You're kind of connecting the two, because remember, the mind and the body stores the memories from the trauma. Remember, regulate the breathing and control the mind. All right, excellent. So when you are having a panic attack, or you know things are definitely not going well with you, you can just feel it, you know, knots in your stomach, you're nauseated, headache, just really not a good thing. You're getting, you know, rage, or you're starting to numb out or dissociate, and you know, fatalistic thinking is going on. Definitely reach out for help. But the first thing you can do when you can, and there's a bunch of methods, but I like this idea. It's just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 is sight. We're gonna ground you. We're trying to bring you into the present. That's the whole point. We can bring you back into the present by controlling, regulating your body, but just by the sheer force of your mind. We're going to get your critter brain to actually calm down, and so your prefrontal cortex and your limbic system will come back online. The watchtower and the cook, we need them, all right? But we need that alarm system to kind of quiet down, because right now it is safe. So that's the time to be doing it. So we're engaging the 5 senses to ground you into the present, into the now, so that we can get the brilliant mind back online, again, to protect you, right, from further damage. All right, now, so it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. 5 objects. Look, I like colors, so I'm looking for colors. I see a pink on my purse. I see this orange copper umbrella. I see the green palm trees. I see the blue in the sky. I see the white in the clouds. I see the brown on the chair. I see the white on this paper and the brown on this table. So just 5 things that you want to see. Objects, and really look into it, look at it, okay? 4 is touch. And this is where you can, 4 objects, again, but to touch it. And, you know, and if you're by yourself, there's nothing to touch, then tapping. This is where you would have tapping. Tapping really helps. Again, it grounds you. Tap, tap, tap on here. If you're driving and you think you're dissociating, tap on the wheel. Squeeze the wheel. Tap, tap, tap. You know, turn the music on. Tap on the steering wheel. Tap, tap, tap on my feet. I'm tapping on the ground. Again, grounding you. Grounding you. Imagine you're tapping, or if you're standing somewhere and you're stuck standing, imagine that you're a tree and just feel the ground, and you're actually sending out roots into the ground, okay? It literally grounds you to the present, to the now. And it basically gives you back control of your mind and then your body. Your body and then your mind, and then so forth. So that one's wonderful. Or if you can't, just touch your hair, you know. It's silky, you know, silky smooth. Or your clothes, you know, or anything. And just the textile, you know, the table. And really concentrate on that. So 5, 4, 3. 3 is to hear 3 sounds. I'm hearing this music coming from there. I hear the water. I like the water feature. And I hear the little kids playing in the pool, in the swimming pool. So that's 3 sounds, right? And describe it. 2 would be smells, odors. Lavender, coffee, flowers. just kind of a clear, crisp, smell, But then if you really want to, you can smell your hand. Hey, that smells good, Or your hair, your shampoo. That's nice. Okay, yeah. And then the other one is, the last one is a taste. And I don't think normally people are, when they're traumatized or having a panic attack or in anxious mode, I don't think they'll be eating. So that's why it's one taste. So what I just do is there is sort of a taste in your mouth, right? Maybe from your toothbrush or the last meal you ate, So that's one. And I'm going to give you a bunch of combinations. And again, these are all toolkits. I brought this down to the pool for you guys, okay? It's a toolkit, all right? So I want you to think of the hammer, because it's the biggest one in here, as the breath, okay? Bring on the hammer, bring the breath on, okay? But then the other toolkits are all these 5 senses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these little things, right? And then you got to figure out which ones work for you, which mechanism. But practice it when you're not having a panic, attack, or actually, I don't like to say panic attack. I'd rather say when you're not in sympathetic overload, okay? That just sounds nicer. And that's more true. So number one, there's some combinations. This one actually works really well for me. My VA counselor actually introduced me to this in September, October, when there was some significant family traumas going on in my personal life. So literally, and it works wonders for me. I just feel my pulse. I feel my pulse right here, my radial pulse. And I just calm down. And I don't know, is it because I'm a doctor? I don't know, but I know other people use it and they love it too. So, and I'm really concentrating on the feel. I'm really trying to feel the pulse. And I'm really concentrating on the beat. And I'm not making myself do it. It's just really cool. That's what I like. I like doing stuff like this. That's why I'm a doctor, I guess. Yeah, look, I love listening to my pulse. But not really listening, but feeling, right? Okay? So that's touch, right? Touch. So that's touch and feel, and also concentrating and breathing and slowing down. The other one is a calm palm. This is a good one. So let's say you're really, stressed out, and you have time to do this, okay? So again, you're gonna just look at your hand and just look at it. I mean, really look at it. Look at the little creases and things like that. And with your index finger, you're actually gonna it's sort of like almost like a massage. You're just gonna kind of go up and down, and actually feels pretty cool. It's very relaxing, like, oh. But yeah, so then you're just gonna go up and down, up and down. But you're really gonna look at it, look at it, and and just really feel it, let your hand feel that, because it really feels very relaxing, right? Okay, and do the same thing for here. And at the same time, you're taking your breath. Like right now, I've got all 5 senses going on. The kids behind me in the pool, and the water thing, and I see the blue skies behind me. All 5 senses. I am here. I am grounded. So that one's good. And then if you're really in trouble, just hold a piece of ice in each palm, and that'll add the coldness, and the touch will really help too. And then this is another one. It's actually a combination of meditation. Just I feel relaxed now. I have peace now. I feel calm now. Okay, and this all kind of goes into the EMDR, which is the eye movement and desensitization and reprocessing that Dr. Vanderkolk talks about, and it's really proven really amazing results. Because I am not in that field, I do not know if medical insurance at this point pays for EMDR, but it's kind of like activating your REM, very analogous to your REM sleep, bilateral stimulation. Again, I really think it's tied to this grounding, which is amazing. Because sometimes, the Broca's area, the speech area, is kind of offline during trauma, and when the critter brain is in charge. So talk therapy is good, but then if it's not enough, you may have to instill some of these things. And again, with that, even with the EMDR, they'll do like a vibration. They'll hold on to some vibration. And again, that's touch too, right? And energy. And then maybe lights going back and forth, right? So those are all wonderful things. And so I'm going to end with one that I came up with, which is kind of cool. But you come up with your own. Pick your best song. Remember? Auditory, and then physical, and then touch, and then, and then even singing. I think that's got to be another thing too, another sense, right? Vocalization. So, when peace like a river attendeth my soul, When sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, you have taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. And then tap, tap, tap. Again, lots of health, and if you sense that you're in sympathetic, right, overdrive or dominance, you need to activate that peace and calm center. Take out the toolkit, right, and hopefully you practice at home so that you know that you can just do it like this, right, like second nature. Take out the hammer first, right? All right, the big hammer. Bring on the breath, okay? It literally connects your mind to your body and just helps you regulate everything. And then the 5 senses, right? 5 things, 5 colors, 5 things you see, 4 things you can touch, 3 noises, sounds, 2 smells, maybe some essential oils, right? Lavender, whatever calms you down or just makes you feel warm and loved and safe. Remember, love, you have to feel loved, safe, and also belong. And then 1 would be your taste, all right? So again, in the name of the great physician, just health and calm and peace. Again, peace, because it is well with our soul. Yahweh Rapha, the breath of life, yes, the breath of life, that's where it is. And shalom, everybody.